So we've got our prop changed, and we diagnosed, retrieved the part, and reassembled and reinstalled our water pump, which that has to be a plus. We didn't get to search for the mystery bolt, but being that we have a new vibration coming from the steering cable, which doesn't seem like it's loose, it just seems like there's a vibration. And we've never had that before. We're going to have to look into it a little more serious, but it's getting a little late to do that because we have to actually pull the front seat to do that and then pull this, which is designed to do, but it's not designed to do easily. So there's something going on up in here, and I'm not sure if that bolt is from there, that nut and bolt, whatever we want to call it, screw, bolt. But there's really no other place for it besides in the steering, and I also have a ton of pictures of it. I'm going to compare it to the pictures of when I actually assembled the boat. I'm telling you, I don't care what you do. Take as many pictures as you can. Even if you're just taking something apart and putting it back together. Take out your iPhones, all you iPhone people. Take some pictures of it before you actually touch it. That way you know where every wire goes, that way you know where every bolt goes. And it's easy reference. But like I said, we're not going to get a chance to chase that tonight. We're just going to get it covered up and call it a night before the mosquitoes come out. Hey there, lifers. We were in Shantytown earlier, and we happened to look at our broken bolt that we found down here in the Beesmire. And it got us thinking again. It was like, where in the hell did that come from? So we got out our borescope, started looking around, and I think I found it. Alright, right here you'll see that there's a bearing, and up here, I'm doing this in reverse, there's a collar, and this collar rides on top of this bearing, and this nut up here is the safety nut, so if something breaks and falls out, it only falls out so far. Well, after we did our borescope there, we realized that actually that nut was actually sitting on this collar, which is not the end of the world, but it's not the way it should be. There's actually a screw right here that drives through and locks this collar to this shaft. That way it doesn't rest on this safety nut. And sadly, ours broke, and we're driving in a new one now. Then again, over the winter, we're going to figure out what we're going to do about this steering plate and other strut shaft plate this next coming spring. To get the rudder up by myself, I just wedged these couple boards in place and gave them a little torque up, and then drove this one in underneath of it to lock it in place. And that raised it enough to get the collar lined up with the holes in the shaft itself. And with the nut and the bolt installed, our steering that we didn't know was broken is now fixed and not going to cause a catastrophic incident. I mean, we do still have a small issue with the steering. Its travel is being blocked by a bolt that is protruding out of the bottom of the plate. And I'm not sure whether that's where the stop should be, or it should be the other one is traveling too far. So we'll figure that out when we replace the plate, because that's going to have to come up here real soon. But it'll do for now. It's funny that I read online all the time, oh, you got 500 horsepower in that Nova, you need hydraulic steering. And I'm kind of like, no, I don't want the big hydraulic ram outside the boat, and if I put it inside, I've still got the same slop issues.
Always figure if you get the right prop, we use a left-hand prop, you trim it right, this thing drives like a Cadillac. I don't understand what the whole, they're out of control. But this of course has a steering cable, you know, and everybody says that's not good enough. Well, the race boat has 2 steering cables, you know, so that makes it redundant at least, even though you have twin 500 plus horsepower motors in it. But I wonder what people would think of this. When it comes to the BZ, I'm not saying that's a 500 horsepower motor, because it's probably more likely in the high 3s, maybe 4. I think I built it as the 420 kind of design, so maybe somewhere around there. But how would you like to do 50, 60 mile an hour with dual cable steering? Yeah, no hydraulics in this boat, that's for sure. If you like this video, let us know by hitting that button down there. I don't know. It's always the other one that I ever point to. And if you could, we're on a subscriber push. We'd really like to hit 400 before the year is out, and we would appreciate if you would hit that button. You can ignore us, but it means a lot to us. La 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 la. Yeah, stop. There you go. Like, what's his name? All right, here we go. And with that screw in, and here we go. This is a good one.
And we're doing this upside down backwards, so what the hell?
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, lifers. We are in a garage, a shantytown.